The drama in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has reached a fever pitch as Kendra finally snaps on Jock after a shocking online embarrassment. Social media exploded with clips of the confrontation, and fans everywhere are talking about the intensity of their feud. Emotions run high, tempers flare, and divorce threats are thrown into the mix, making this one of the most explosive moments of season 13. Kendra's patience had been pushed to the limit, and Jock's actions, sharing private moments and comments online, crossed a line that triggered a public showdown. The confrontation isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about respect, boundaries, and the consequences of putting private matters on display for the world to see. Viewers will witness the raw, unfiltered reactions, the heated exchanges, and the emotional fallout that could change their relationship forever. With tensions escalating and alliances tested, this confrontation sets the stage for shocking developments, emotional revelations, and a battle for control in the LHHATL house that nobody will want to miss. The tension in the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta house had been building for weeks, but no one anticipated just how explosive it would become. Kendra and Jock's relationship had always been full of ups and downs, but recent events had pushed the situation to a breaking point. Jock, in a moment that he might have thought was harmless, shared private details of their personal life online. What he considered a small slip quickly escalated into a public spectacle, leaving Kendra humiliated and furious. Fans immediately picked up on the drama, flooding social media with reactions, memes, and commentary. The embarrassment wasn't just about the content that was shared, it was about trust being broken in the most public way imaginable. Kendra's frustration had been simmering beneath the surface, and the online exposure became the spark that ignited a fire. When she confronted Jock in front of the cameras, the anger in her voice was unmistakable. She demanded answers, asking why he would put their private life on display and questioning whether he truly respected her. Her words were precise, cutting, and filled with years of unspoken frustration. The cameras captured every subtle expression, the tension in her jaw, the flare of her nostrils, the trembling of her hands, all evidence of the emotional weight she carried. For viewers, it was a moment that combined raw emotion with the undeniable reality of public scrutiny. Jock, taken aback by Kendra's intensity, initially attempted to defend himself. He explained his side of the story, claiming that his intentions were not to embarrass her and that the post was misinterpreted. He pointed out that in the age of social media, everything could be taken out of context, yet his explanation fell flat in the face of Kendra's anger. The confrontation quickly escalated, with both parties raising their voices and expressing years of pent-up emotions. Every accusation was met with a rebuttal, and every explanation seemed to fuel further frustration rather than resolve it. The cameras documented the raw back and forth, giving viewers an unfiltered look at the emotional complexity of the situation. The conflict didn't stay confined to Kendra and Jock. Other cast members, sensing the intensity of the moment, stepped in to mediate, but their involvement only added layers of complexity. Some attempted to calm Kendra, advising her to approach the situation with patience, while others offered Jock perspective on how his actions were perceived. Meanwhile, the production team had to carefully manage filming, ensuring that the confrontation was captured authentically while maintaining a safe environment for everyone involved. What unfolded was a masterclass in reality TV tension, blending personal vulnerability with public spectacle. As the confrontation progressed, the conversation inevitably turned toward the future of Kendra and Jock's relationship. The argument escalated beyond online embarrassment to deeper issues of trust, respect, and commitment. Kendra's frustration was not merely about one incident. It was about the accumulation of actions and words that had left her questioning the foundation of their relationship. Jock, meanwhile, struggled to articulate remorse without appearing defensive, creating a volatile dynamic that kept everyone on edge. The scene was electric, every word charged with emotion, every glance loaded with meaning, and every gesture scrutinized by cameras and co-stars alike. Fans watching at home were captivated. Social media exploded with reaction videos, debates, and analyses of the confrontation. Hashtags related to Kendra and Jock trended, and clips of their argument circulated widely. Viewers dissected every phrase, every facial expression, and every tone shift, debating who was in the right, who had handled the situation poorly, and what this meant for their future together. The digital audience amplified the stakes, making the personal conflict into a public spectacle with global visibility. The power of social media was undeniable, transforming a private dispute into a moment of reality TV history. By the end of the day, Kendra's anger had not subsided. She remained steadfast in her position, making it clear that the boundaries of respect and trust had been crossed. Jock, recognizing the gravity of the situation, began to reflect on the consequences of his actions. The confrontation had served as a wake-up call, forcing him to consider the impact of public exposure on personal relationships and the weight of his decisions. The emotional intensity of the day left both Kendra and Jock with much to process, and the aftermath promised to carry into future episodes. What made this confrontation especially compelling was the combination of personal stakes and public scrutiny. Kendra's reaction was fueled by genuine emotion, not theatrics, and Jock's response highlighted the difficulty of navigating personal mistakes under the pressure of a reality TV lens. The cameras captured authenticity, while viewers witnessed the raw consequences of trust being tested and respect being challenged. This wasn't simply drama for entertainment, it was a real-time exploration of the complexities of relationships in the digital age. As the episode drew to a close, the lingering tension was palpable. Cast members speculated on the potential fallout, fans continued to debate online, and Kendra and Jock were left to grapple with the reality of what had just transpired. The online embarrassment had escalated into a confrontation that threatened the very foundation of their relationship, and the repercussions were far from over. What was intended to be a single post had transformed into a pivotal moment in their story, one that would define interactions, test loyalties, and set the stage for an emotionally charged season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The morning after the explosive confrontation, the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta house was tense and heavy with unspoken emotions. The night before had left Kendra visibly shaken, her frustration with Jock simmering just beneath the surface. What started as a single incident of online embarrassment had spiraled into a full-blown argument, exposing vulnerabilities and long-standing issues in their relationship. The entire cast was acutely aware that the tension between them was far from over, and every interaction was now filtered through the lens of what had happened. Kendra spent the early hours reflecting on the confrontation. In private, away from the cameras, she vented to close allies about the betrayal she felt. Jock had publicly humiliated her, yes, but more than that, he had disregarded the trust and respect that are the foundation of any relationship. For Kendra, the humiliation wasn't just a fleeting moment of anger. It was a culmination of repeated frustrations and disappointments that had gone unaddressed. Her words were measured but sharp as she dissected the events, expressing not only anger but also hurt, disappointment, and a desire for accountability. Jock, meanwhile, was experiencing his own inner turmoil. He recognized that his actions had consequences far beyond what he initially anticipated. While he tried to justify the post as harmless, the backlash in Kendra's reaction forced him to confront the reality of his choices. Jock understood that rebuilding trust would not be easy, and that every move he made from this point forward would be scrutinized by both the cast and the audience. In the private moments captured by cameras, he wrestled with guilt, defensiveness, and a desire to repair the damage, emotions that created a complex dynamic between him and Kendra. As the day progressed, the cast began to navigate the aftermath of the confrontation. Some members offered support to Kendra, empathizing with her feelings and validating her anger, while others spoke to joke privately, providing perspective on how the situation could have been handled differently. These conversations, though often subtle, highlighted the alliances and relationships within the house. Each cast member's position, whether mediator, supporter, or neutral observer, contributed to the evolving tension, creating a layered narrative that was both dramatic and emotionally resonant. Kendra and Jock eventually found themselves in another heated discussion, this time attempting to address the underlying issues that the online incident had exposed. Kendra expressed that her frustration wasn't solely about what Joss had posted, but also about recurring patterns of behavior that had left her feeling disrespected and undervalued. Jock, recognizing the depth of her anger, tried to explain his intentions, acknowledging mistakes while also asserting that he did not intend to cause harm. The conversation was raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal, revealing the emotional stakes that had previously been hidden beneath the surface of their interactions. The cameras captured every detail: Kendra's expressions of hurt, the firmness in her voice, Jock's attempts to mediate, and the subtle but significant gestures that revealed their emotional states. For viewers, it was a compelling display of how private conflicts can be amplified in a public setting. The authenticity of the confrontation drew fans in, making them invested not only in the outcome of this particular argument, but also in the broader trajectory of Kendra and Jock's relationship. Social media played a significant role in shaping the conversation around the incident. Clips of Kendra's outburst and Jock's defense went viral, prompting fans to weigh in with passionate opinions. Some sided with Kendra, praising her for standing up for herself and refusing to tolerate disrespect, while others empathized with Joss, arguing that he did not intend to embarrass her publicly. The public's engagement added pressure to the already tense situation, as both Kendra and Jock were now navigating not only their personal feelings, but also the reactions of millions of viewers. Throughout the day, small moments of reflection occurred in between confrontations. Kendra considered what she needed moving forward: accountability, genuine apologies, and evidence of changed behavior. Jock grappled with how to demonstrate sincerity while also maintaining his dignity and sense of self. Both recognized that their relationship was at a crossroads, and the choices they made in the coming days would determine whether reconciliation was possible or if the relationship was approaching its breaking point. The drama reached another peak when the conversation escalated into divorce threats. Kendra, in a moment of exasperation, suggested that the breach of trust might be irreparable, signaling the depth of her frustration and disappointment. Joss, taken aback, responded defensively, creating a tense standoff that drew the attention of the entire cast. The exchange highlighted the stakes of their conflict. This wasn't merely about an online post, but about the fundamental issues of respect, communication, and long-term compatibility. By the end of the day, both Kendra and Jock were emotionally drained. The confrontation had exposed vulnerabilities, challenged loyalties, and forced them to confront uncomfortable truths about their relationship. The cast, meanwhile, continued to process the fallout, providing insight into how one incident could ripple across a network of friendships, alliances, and personal dynamics. The episode left viewers on edge, eager to see whether reconciliation was possible or if the tension would continue to escalate in the next installment. This confrontation underscored the complexity of relationships under public scrutiny. Kendra and Jock's story highlighted how private conflicts can be magnified in the digital age, where a single post can ignite intense emotional responses and create lasting consequences. The situation served as a stark reminder of the importance of trust, communication, and respect in maintaining relationships, especially when the world is watching. The morning after the explosive confrontation, the atmosphere in the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta house was tense and fraught with uncertainty. Kendra and Joss had both spent the night reflecting on what had transpired, and the emotional fallout was evident in every interaction. While some cast members tried to mediate or offer advice, the weight of the argument hung heavily over everyone, leaving no room for casual conversation. The events of the previous day had fundamentally altered the dynamics of the house, and every glance, gesture, and word carried the weight of unresolved tension. Kendra began the day determined to assert her boundaries clearly. She expressed to close allies that the humiliation she had experienced was more than a passing frustration. It was a betrayal of trust that cut to the heart of her relationship with Jock. The online post had brought private issues into the public eye, and the exposure amplified the emotional impact. Kendra's anger was not only about the embarrassment, but also about a pattern of behavior that she felt had gone unchecked for too long. Every conversation she engaged in that morning reflected her need for accountability, respect, and validation, signaling that she would not tolerate further breaches of trust. Jock, meanwhile, wrestled with guilt and defensiveness. While he acknowledged that sharing private information online was a mistake, he also felt that his intentions had been misunderstood. His internal conflict was clear. He wanted to make amends, but he also wanted his perspective to be understood and respected. Jock's attempts at reconciliation were cautious, deliberate, and strategic, revealing the careful navigation required when addressing mistakes under the public eye. The cameras captured every subtle nuance of his behavior, highlighting the complexity of addressing emotional breaches while maintaining one's dignity. As the day progressed, the tension escalated into a formal confrontation that was carefully mediated by other cast members and production staff. The conversation began with Kendra articulating her feelings with precision and emotional depth, explaining why Jock's actions had caused such profound hurt. Her words were firm, deliberate, and infused with genuine emotion, leaving little room for misinterpretation. Jock responded with a mix of apology, explanation, and defense, emphasizing that while he recognized his error, he did not intend to hurt Kendra. The dialogue was intense, emotionally charged, and raw, providing viewers with a candid look at the challenges of navigating trust, communication, and accountability in high-stakes relationships. The confrontation also served as a public reflection of private tensions. Other cast members provided commentary, perspectives, and insights, helping to contextualize the argument while also revealing their own biases and loyalties. Some sided with Kendra, empathizing with her hurt and supporting her insistence on accountability. Others acknowledged Jock's perspective, noting the potential for misunderstanding and the importance of forgiveness. These varied responses added layers to the narrative, highlighting the complexity of relationships in the house and the ripple effects of individual actions. Social media once again played a pivotal role in the unfolding story. Fans dissected every moment, debated loyalties, and speculated about the future of Kendra and Jock's relationship. Clips of the confrontation went viral, and trending hashtags reflected the widespread interest in the drama. Audience engagement became a critical factor, influencing the narrative by amplifying reactions, generating discussion, and shaping public perception. The global audience, in essence, became an active participant in the emotional landscape of the house, providing immediate feedback and commentary that impacted both the cast and the production. As tensions reached their peak, Kendra issued an ultimatum. The discussion of potential divorce was no longer hypothetical. It had become a tangible possibility if trust could not be restored. Jock, faced with the gravity of the situation, recognized that repairing the relationship would require significant effort, transparency, and genuine accountability. The stakes were high. This was not just a dispute over an online post, but a confrontation that questioned the foundation of their commitment, the depth of trust, and the sustainability of their relationship under scrutiny. Private moments captured by the cameras revealed deeper layers of reflection. Kendra contemplated the importance of self-respect and the boundaries necessary to protect herself emotionally. Jock evaluated the impact of his actions on not only Kendra, but also on his reputation and future interactions with other cast members. Both individuals faced an emotional reckoning, recognizing that the consequences of the argument extended far beyond a single episode. Trust, respect, and communication would need to be rebuilt, and the road to reconciliation promised to be long, complicated, and emotionally taxing. The episode also highlighted the broader implications of living life under the constant gaze of reality television and social media. Private mistakes, misjudgments, and lapses in judgment were no longer contained. They became public events with immediate and lasting consequences. Kendra and Jock's confrontation served as a reminder of the high stakes involved when personal relationships intersect with public exposure. The emotional authenticity, vulnerability, and rawness captured on camera resonated with viewers, drawing attention to the real challenges faced by individuals navigating love, trust, and respect under public scrutiny. As the episode drew to a close, the lingering tension was palpable. Kendra and Jock had not fully resolved their issues, leaving the door open for further confrontation, reflection, and dramatic developments. The cast, meanwhile, continued to process the fallout, providing insights into how personal conflicts can ripple across a network of friendships, alliances, and loyalties. The storyline underscored that in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, private grievances are rarely isolated, and even small incidents can escalate into emotionally charged confrontations that define a season. Ultimately, this explosive moment served as a turning point in the relationship between Kendra and Josie. It highlighted the importance of boundaries, trust, and accountability, while illustrating the emotional complexities of navigating public scrutiny. For viewers, the confrontation provided a window into the challenges of modern relationships under the lens of social media and reality television, offering both entertainment and a deeper understanding of human emotion. The event set the stage for future episodes, promising continued drama, emotional revelations, and high-stakes confrontations that will keep audiences engaged, invested, and talking long after the cameras stop rolling. The explosive confrontation between Kendra and Jock has sent shockwaves through the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta house, and now it's your turn to join the conversation. The online embarrassment, the emotional outburst, and the divorce threats have captured the attention of fans worldwide, and everyone has an opinion. What do you think about Kendra snapping on Jock? Was her reaction justified, or did she go too far? How do you feel about Jock's response? Did he handle the situation appropriately, or did he make things worse? Your perspective is an important part of this discussion, and we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Debate, defend, or analyze every moment of this heated exchange. Every like, comment, and share helps amplify the conversation, creating a space where fans from around the world can dissect the drama, discuss the consequences, and weigh in on who was right and who was wrong. Your engagement adds to the ongoing story, helping everyone understand the emotional complexities behind Kendra and Jock's conflict. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single moment of this unfolding drama. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta continues to deliver unexpected twists, confrontations, and shocking revelations, and staying connected ensures that you'll be the first to see what happens next. By subscribing, you gain full access to every update, every clip, and every new development as Kendra and Jock navigate the fallout from this intense confrontation. Follow us on social media for even more behind-the-scenes content, analysis, and updates. From Instagram and Twitter to TikTok, fans are discussing every detail of the argument, sharing opinions, and connecting with others who are just as invested in the drama. Join the conversation, participate in polls, and see how your perspective compares to other fans. Your engagement not only keeps the discussion alive, but also contributes to the global conversation around one of the most talked about moments of Season 13. Stay tuned for future episodes where we'll explore the aftermath of Kendra and Jock's confrontation. We'll dive into the evolving relationships, the rebuilding of trust, and the continuing drama that makes Love and Hip Hop Atlanta so compelling. This story is far from over, and your voice can help shape the narrative. Don't just watch, engage, discuss, and be part of the drama as it unfolds.